What's up, you guys? I kind of can't believe that it's already Earthling Elaborates time again. I feel like the weeks and days have been like flying by. I've had so much going on, and yeah, it just kind of feels like I'm in a time warp right now. But I'm super happy to be here, and I hope that you all have been doing well. If you have any updates that you'd like to share, feel free to drop them in the comments. Also, I wanted to just say that last video I said that I was going to use these 4 agreements oracle cards, or more so like affirmation cards, and I didn't, so I am definitely going to be doing it this video. I will not forget. And then, as always, we're going to do a reading with my Mystical Wisdom deck. My fave. But yeah, as far as updates for me, I have 2 upcoming events. One is on the 12th, this coming Thursday, at the Generator in Reno. If you are local and you follow me on Instagram, then I will be, well, actually I already did post the flyer for it, so you can find more information. It's from 5 to 9. It's like a little pre-Valentine's Day shindig. A bunch of local artists are going to be you know, selling their goods, including myself. I actually have some items that I'm specifically curating for Valentine's Day and the theme of love and everything that that embodies emotionally, physically. And that's going to include original paintings as well as some clothing items, which I'm really excited about. This concept that I have for these clothes is something that I'm really passionate about, and I just like, I don't know, the idea was like downloaded to me, and I just have been so excited about it ever since. So I'm really excited to pull that off and be able to offer some cutesy, fun little Valentine's Day drops. And then on Valentine's Day, I'm doing an event. The flyer is also on my Instagram, so you can check it out if you're local to Reno. But yeah, that one's going to be really fun too, and it's just, once again, local artists vending, and we're going to have like coffees and pastries, and it's just going to be a really nice little vibe to, you know, come to, whether you're by yourself or with a loved one. It's from 10 to 3, and it's at, I'm pretty sure, a private address. I don't think it's a business, but I might be wrong. But I've seen pictures of this place, and it is so beautiful. There's like these giant windows, and it just looks like a really cool house. So I'm really excited about it. And I have this really special project that I'm going to be bringing that is actually interactive with the crowd that comes through, and I also am going to extend the like invitation to collaborate on it to to social media. I will explain more about that when it's actually Valentine's Day, but that's another idea that downloaded semi-recently, and I've just been so excited about it. I think that it's a really cool concept, and honestly, I've never done like a piece of art that is collaborative to not only like people around me, like at an event or something, but virtually through the internet. So I'm really excited about it. I love any chance that I can get to, like, you know, collaborate and connect with the community. and this is going to be a really special way to do that. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be dropping like way closer to Valentine's Day, and once again, there is going to be a way for you to participate even if you don't live near me and wouldn't be able to come see the project in person. So definitely stay tuned for that and follow me on social media if you don't already. You can find all of my social media on my website, which is linked in my bio. I use Shopify. And yeah, I have a new About the Artist page on there where you can learn more about me and my artistic journey. And I also dropped a Patreon on Friday, which I'm really excited about. I have 9 different tiers on there, and the lowest one starts at $3.33 a month, and that is like the most basic, like general support tier, and then it goes up from there, and you get different exclusive benefits depending on which tier you're a part of. There are tiers for like getting to know me as an artist and like an inside look of my journey. There's behind the scenes, like videos, photos of projects before I release them to the public. There is a tier for oracle readings specifically, where you can get monthly personalized oracle readings from me. So if you are somebody who watches these videos a lot and you like the oracle readings that I do, I definitely would suggest checking that out. That my Patreon, sorry, my words are getting jumbled, but my Patreon is also linked in my Shopify, so you can find it there and check all the tiers out. I also have 4 more exclusive tiers because there's only a certain amount of members that can join at a time, and those tiers are collector tiers where you actually receive a mystery original painting every month from me, which is really freaking cool. And there's all different sizes of paintings and different prices. So if you are interested in any of that, then I would love for you to check it out. Once again, the link is on my website, which is in my bio. And I'll also share those links in the description below if it's easier for you to access it that way. But yeah, I have been curating this Patreon for a long time, and I've put a lot of energy and intention into it because I know that, finances aren't, as abundant for everybody. And I just wanted to make sure that for those of you who are able to support me in that way, that you really are getting your money's worth and that it feels like an equal energy exchange, So, yeah, for those of you who do decide to go look at it, and for those of you who, are interested in joining, I just want to thank you for believing in me and supporting me and being here. It really means a lot to me. And anyways, enough of all of that. I would like to start getting into this reading. I've been shuffling the cards. You've probably been able to hear me doing it this whole time. But I am going to just let you connect with these cards for a moment. I'm just going to hold them up while I kind of do my own little thing. If you have any specific intentions that you'd like to set for this reading for yourself, feel free to think of those things. If you have any specific questions or any specific topics that you want to bring up or have advice for from this reading. I don't know why it's so hard for me to speak today. I hope I'm making sense. I'm sorry. But yeah, if you have any questions, any topics that you want to ask the cards, come up with those now and take a moment to just settle into this space. I know that I've been jumping around from a bunch of topics and talking a lot, so we're just going to take this moment to just tap back into ourselves, our bodies, our breathing. If you feel inclined, you can take some breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just settle back into your body, get in whatever posture or position makes you feel comfortable and safe and secure. You can do as many of those breaths as you would like at whatever pace suits you best. And if you want to elevate those breaths a little bit, you can hold in for 3 to 5 seconds during your inhale like this. Just hits so good when you hold the breath in for a little bit. But yeah, so I'm going to let you connect with the cards. I'm going to take a sip of coffee and ground myself into my space, and then we will tap back in, set the collective energy for the reading, and see what comes out. Alright, so I would like to set the intention of this reading to be open to the collective. This reading is for me and for you. This is just a general overall reading of whatever divine feels that we should know at this time. Words of encouragement, words of advice, words of wisdom, things to look out for, things to be aware of. And you should always take what resonates, and if something does not resonate with you during this reading, there's absolutely no reason to force yourself to agree with it or resonate. These readings are up to interpretation always. There is absolutely no rule that says that these readings are exactly what you need to hear and exactly what, is going to happen, and etc. There's no exacts. There's no, there's no hierarchy in the sense of, what I'm telling you is exactly what is. I think that you should always question things. Even if you trust somebody, you should always have your own personal discernment, especially when it comes to spiritual advice, because our spiritual relationship with ourselves is something that is extremely intimate, extremely personal, extremely sacred. And so, once again, just take everything that I say and everything that comes out in this reading with your own, grain of salt, so to speak. And yeah, if it resonates, it does. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Don't try to force it. So I'm going to go ahead and give the cards like a couple more shuffles, and then we will start pulling. I'm also going to cut the deck a few times in between my shuffles. And I am not going to forget that we are going to also pull some of these cards. I like to do the oracle cards first, and then I like to pull some from the affirmation deck as like just extra words of encouragement and advice. So we're going to go ahead and do it in that style. All right. I'm feeling pretty ready, so I'm going to go ahead and see what comes out. I'm going to go ahead and lower this so you guys can see. Setting the intention of whatever needs to come out right now for the collective. whatever divine feels that we all should be aware of at this moment. Wow, that was quick and calculated. 4 cards all just came out at once. First one that came out that I can see is the Knowledge card, which I believe, I don't know if it was last reading that it came out, but it did come out semi-recently. And then we have the Animal Bond card, which came out in a lot of early readings, early videos that I have posted. The Dreams card, which is one of my favorites. And we ended the reading off with the Potential card, which is always a really fun and exciting card to have in the mix. I'm going to go ahead and read to you each one of the cards individually with their little descriptions from the book, and then we will analyze the whole entire reading at the end. I'll give you my interpretation of it. So let's start off with the Knowledge card, which is seemingly very important for this current time period that we're in. I've pulled this card for my personal readings like quite a few times in the past couple weeks, so I'm definitely getting a sense that, especially since it's now coming out for a collective reading, that it is pretty damn important right now. So let's see what this card is all about. It says, Knowledge. Knowledge is the most powerful tool that you can use to bring about change to yourself and to the world around you. Building knowledge is an ongoing process, with results that will last you a lifetime. No one can take this away from you. Knowledge is the foundation that can provide you with opportunities of fulfillment and freedom to choose your life's path. It will bring about confidence and clarity, so follow your path with enthusiasm and focus. And the mantra for this card is, Knowledge brightens my horizons for the future. I love that. And I'll give you a moment to just really soak up the imagery of this card and see how it makes you feel, if you notice anything more than others, if something specific stands out to you. If you have any resonation with this card that you'd like to share, feel free to drop it in the comments. I like the verbiage that was used in the mantra, knowledge brightens my horizons for the future. And I like how that correlates with this imagery of like this fire element, like brightening up things. It looks like there's, you know, just a lot of different portals of realities that are going on here. But she's in her own world, soaking it all in. Let's go into the next card. Also, I know you can see this piece right here. Hope it's not freaking you out too much. I know that this is a little bit more of a disturbing painting of mine, so I apologize if that gets to ya. But anyways, next is the Animal Bond card. One of the most frequently pulled cards for me in this deck. It says, stand up for all animals. You have a special relationship with animals. The world needs you to stand up and have a voice for all animals on the planet. Help protect the wildlife and rescue animals when you can. Give a donation or get involved online. Volunteering your spare time to animal shelters would be greatly rewarding. This may be just the time for you to save a cat or dog from the shelter and give it a loving home. And the mantra is, I share my love with animals and the world. This resonates with me a lot personally because there's a stray cat that I've been feeding for like over a year now. But she's really, really skittish and has like no interest in coming inside. I've been able to like pet her a little bit more, but she's very standoffish. Like, she's really sweet, but she just doesn't really want anything to do with humans. But recently, another cat has been coming around, and it's this little ginger cat, and he is completely lovey-dovey and has come inside the house, and I just like don't know what to do because I already have 2 cats, and I don't really know if I can handle having 3 as much as I would want to. And you know, he's very sweet and would be a good fit, but I'm just not 100% sure if I can handle that. So my partner and I are trying to like balance out what we want to do, and yeah, so that card resonates with me. If it resonates to you in some sort of way, then let me know. If you've been having any animal interactions lately, or any like pull towards interacting more with animals or rescuing or something. And that brings us into the next card, which is the Dreams card. It says, believe in your dreams, believe in yourself, and reach for the stars. You have the courage, patience, and passion within you to make a difference. When you have a dream, only you have the responsibility to make it real. Dreams are never free. It can take time, energy, and sacrifice to create the reality and live your dream. It also takes preparation, determination, and effort. Never compromise or surrender your dreams. Believe in yourself. Believe in your dreams. And the mantra is, I believe in following my dreams. I believe in following my dreams. I believe in following my dreams. I love this card right now. I needed that encouragement. Okay, let's finish off with the last card, and then we will get into it. The last card that we pulled is the Potential card. Think big for your future. Your creative and mental powers carry great potential. Your plans to expand your horizons are underway, and everything is progressing steadily. Think and plan outside your limitations and remain open-minded, as there are more possibilities and opportunities than you can see at this point. This could be study, a business venture, or travel. Be ready to take on the challenges with a think big attitude. Empower yourself with more development and self-exploration. And the mantra is, my visions and goals take me beyond my current limitations. I love that. My visions and goals take me beyond my current limitations. This card is really beautiful with its imagery and really sweet. I love the childlike wonder of this card and just the pure like whimsy and magic of it. I like that this card brought up that it might be a time where you need to like study. Having the knowledge card come up, I feel like that's just assuring that that might be something important right now, and that doesn't necessarily have to look like going to school or something. If school is just not for you, maybe you're already in school and this is, you know, the universe's way of saying, hey, you're on the right track, like keep seeking knowledge and keep learning. And if you're not in school and you're not really, you know, interested in that, like me, then I would interpret this as just understanding and remembering that you are able to learn a lot just through experience, and there are so many resources these days for learning without actually like having to pay to go to a college or something. You know, there's YouTube, there's courses online through, you know, Patreon, and just like all the other things, Substack, and like all kinds of stuff, you know. And just like the simplicity of learning from people around you, you know, like it doesn't even always have to be like a mentorship or a, you know, apprenticeship or whatever. Like it can be just putting yourself more into that observer student mentality, and therefore opening up more opportunity to like be finding things to take in, you know, like maybe you randomly meet somebody on a whim and you guys are having a conversation at a coffee shop or something, and they happen to like say some things that really like resonate with you and something that you are interested in or learning about or want to learn about, and it sparks, you know, even more of like a pathway for you, or, you know, inquire more of like, oh, I'm actually really interested in that, like, where did you learn, or, you know, can you teach me, and just like those subtle things as well of like, there's always, when you're on the path that you want and need to be on, if you open up enough and take those moments of observing and being silent and listening, you will find a bunch of hidden lessons in, you know, things that maybe you didn't even think you would find a lesson in. So I definitely would just take the initiative right now to be open to learning, be open to pushing yourself, understanding that your dreams and your goals are far beyond the limitations that you have, just like this card said, and far beyond what you think might be possible. And it is really beneficial right now to just plunge into that unknown and really like seek to know yourself better and expand your horizons, whatever that looks like for you. And, you know, that could even be something, you know, you can even learn lessons from animals, you know, I do all the time. Maybe you are sitting at a pond and you're watching ducks and you're seeing the way that they move and interact, or, you know, there's so many hidden lessons and meanings in everyday life. And I'm getting this like overall message of just being observant and taking everything in and being open to more than what meets the eye. I'm not sure what that means for you, but that's something that I'm picking up on. And yeah, maybe this card also is nudging you to rescue an animal or get more involved somehow, or possibly even just spend more time in nature. That's kind of like the overall message that I always try to pull from this card, because I don't necessarily want to be like, go get an animal right now, go rescue a dog, you know, like, but I do think that when this card pops up, if anything, it is trying to relay the message of spend more time in nature, learn from our animal friends, and just experience them, be present with them, you know. Go sit at a park and watch the ducks, or go, you know, find a cool spot to sit and just look at some bugs and birds, and yeah. So overall though, the animal card is kind of a little bit of an outlier card for me, but I think the general like idea that I'm picking up on is that it is just as relevant as ever to learn, to push ourselves beyond our limitations and our boundaries, and maybe even slightly our comfort, because, you know, and I mean that in like a safe manner. There's limits of pushing yourself outside comfortability that are, you know, healthy, so you have to find that balance for yourself. And, you know, I keep on hearing like more than what meets the eye, and plunging into like the unknown. Those are like phrases that I'm hearing. But yeah, things are brewing. They have been brewing for the past couple months, and this year is going to be extremely transformative. And I think this year is going to bring about a lot of situations and opportunities where it's going to feel like a long time coming, like things are going to be happening for you that feel like you've been waiting on them for so long, and it's just going to feel like so natural, but also like unreal and like super exciting. So I think right now is kind of like still in that brewing period where we're learning, we are manifesting, we're dreaming, and we are believing so deeply in ourselves that things are going to work and things are going to happen, because we already know. We know that we are capable, and we know that we have the power. This is your reminder of that in case you needed that reassurance or that affirmation. And speaking of affirmation, before I forget again, let's go ahead and pull some other cards. This is the Don Miguel Ruiz 4 Agreements affirmation card deck. It is correlated with the book, The 4 Agreements, which is an absolutely life-changing book. If you have never heard of it, then I highly suggest that you look into it. I read it when I was like 16 or 15, and it truly shaped like who I am as a person even now at 23. Like, it really did open up a lot of doors for me. And it shaped, like, it rewired the hard wire of my brain and my spirit and the way that I thought about myself and others. It's a really, really simple but very, very potent book. So I highly suggest checking it out, especially if you end up enjoying these cards, because yeah, they're based off of the 4 Agreements, and the imagery is really beautiful and cute as well. You're gonna like it a lot, I'm sure. So I'm just gonna shuffle these a few times and set the intention that we are just looking for any additional advice that Divine wants us to know, anything that correlates to this reading that might like deepen our understanding of the reading. So let's go ahead and see what comes out here. These cards are a lot smaller, little square cards. They're cute. I haven't pulled any from this deck in a while, so it might take a minute for them to kind of like warm back up to my energy. We got, learn to ask questions. Don't make assumptions. It is always better to ask questions than to make assumptions. Have the courage to ask questions until you are as clear as you can be. Once you hear the answer to a question, you won't have to make assumptions because you will know the truth. I think that this really correlates with our knowledge card. It could even be, you know, on the territory of like, maybe you just need clarification in certain things. Maybe you are seeking this knowledge, but you're not really sure how to go about it. And I think that this card is saying ask the questions, like just ask, literally just ask. And if you don't get an answer that is as clear as you want it to be, keep asking questions until you do seek that clarity, whether it's whether you're asking the same person or you go and ask other people. You have the divine ability to ask and infer upon, you know, more knowledge. So you definitely should use that and take that, you know, take advantage of that. And not making assumptions is one of the 4 agreements, and it's very, very righteous and real. I think we create a lot of pain and suffering when we try to assume things, and a lot of that pain and suffering could easily be cleared up if we simply just ask questions. So I love that. I really love that. Let's see what else. This is one of my favorites. Let your life be transformed. When you stop making assumptions, your word becomes impeccable and your life is completely transformed. Magic just happens in your life. What you need comes to you easily because Spirit moves freely through you. So this is the second card that we've got that aligns with the don't make assumptions agreement. So I think we're on a theme here. So yeah, we're pushing for no assumptions. We're pushing for clarity. We're pushing for being impeccable with our word. We're pushing for letting ourselves and our lives be transformed because we want it and we deserve it. And it is just in our DNA. It is our right to live our dreams and do what we want to do and live how we want to live. I love that card so much. It's one of my favorites. Let's see what else wants to come out. Speak with integrity. Now we're on the be impeccable with your word kick. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. I feel that this card is really important, especially in alignment with following your dreams and creating a new reality for yourself. If you are on that path like I am, we have to remember that our word is extremely powerful. It's one of the most potent forms of magic that we possess as humans, and it gets hard sometimes when we go through phases of doubt and phases of insecurity and feelings of not knowing. But we have to always try our absolute best to speak with integrity, especially to ourselves. And that includes our thoughts, you know, just remembering to take those moments for yourself if you feel comfortable to look at yourself or just sit with yourself and say, I believe in you. We are going to make this happen. I believe in you. We are going to make this happen, and whatever other affirmations feel right for you. But that is just so important for the dreams and, you know, the potential. If we're ever going to reach our potential, we have to be able to be impeccable with our words and, you know, have these affirmations of self-love and self-belief. Yeah. Okay, let's see if we have one more that wants to come out to top the reading off. Okay, so now I'm starting to pick up a different message. This says, seek to know the truth. When you hear an opinion and believe it, you make an agreement and it becomes part of your belief system. The only thing that can break this agreement is to make a new one based on truth. Only the truth has the power to set you free. So with this card and the Learn to Ask Questions card, I'm kind of picking up that the knowledge card might also be tapping into like our personal belief system and our personal like knowledge. We might be asking or being, you know, pushed to ask ourselves, do we actually agree with these things that we believe in? Do we actually want to take this knowledge in? Is it something that we resonate with? Is it something that feels right to us, you know, to me in specific? So if you have been getting these questions of like, do I believe that? Or do I want to resonate with that? Do I want to believe that that's the truth? I think that this reading is like really instilling in you to ask those questions and take the answers that truly, truly align with you. I thought originally that the knowledge card had come out as kind of like an overall knowledge, but I think that it's starting to more so mean like an inner knowledge and inner truth. So I would just be really gentle with yourself, and when opening up those questions of like, do I believe this? Is this something that actually resonates with me? Do I want to ingest this information, or is it not for me? Be gentle with yourself during that, and just be really truthful and honest with yourself, and you know, tapping back into our dreams and our potential of, you know, believing in ourselves, thinking big for our futures. That relies on the foundation of self and the foundation of trusting and believing in yourself and your core, you know, systems of belief and truth. So it might be, I said earlier that we're like brewing right now, and I think that that is a big part of it, is we have to sift through our own layers of the knowledge that we've curated, the beliefs that we have integrated, the truths that we've believed in, and have this level of like new discernment, being in this new space, and wanting to push for more change and more growth, and really like seeping into our potential and seeping into our dreams. To do that, we really need to be aligned with who we are. And if you still have certain belief systems and certain knowledge that you are putting, you know, your belief into that don't resonate with that and don't help you with that, it's going to hinder your ability to step into that place. So I think that we're being called for discernment. That's like a word that I keep hearing over and over again, is discernment of truth and discernment of our beliefs. And then also, you know, with that being said, there might be certain things that you're not resonating with anymore and that you want to let go. And I think that it's also saying that it's a really good time to seek new knowledge and seek new truths and believe in new things that maybe you didn't expect to or you didn't see coming. But as long as it's aligned with who you are and what you want, it is the truth and it's good for you. Wow, yeah, that was a good reading. That was a lot. I just noticed some synchronicities as well. We have the Speak with Integrity and Seek to Know the Truth card, and they both have these 3 doves. I just noticed that, and that's really sweet. I also love the book that we have in the knowledge card and the book that we have in the Seek to Know the Truth card, and you see that this book has a little heart on it. I think it's aligned with, you know, the love frequency and all that that entails, which has a lot to do with like, you know, love for ourselves and our soul and our future and our livelihood. So yeah, that was really potent. I feel really grounded after that reading. Let me know how you feel, and let me know what and if anything resonated with you in specific. If any imagery really spoke out to you, if any of the phrases or words that I used really spoke to you, I would love to know. And yeah, thank you for being here. I appreciate every single one of you that watch these videos. My subscriber count has slowly been going up, and for that I'm really appreciative. That's always the goal. I don't necessarily care about having a bunch of people on here. I just care about who is on here and making sure that everybody, you know, just feels loved and supported, and you know, hopefully you're getting something out of these readings. And if you're just here to support me as well, I really thank you for that. And once again, it would be really awesome if you checked out my new Patreon. I'm gonna put the link in the description, but you can also just click the link in my bio to go to my website, and you'll see a button like on the first screen where you can support the Patreon. But when you click it, it just, you know, it doesn't make you actually sign up for anything. You just can go and look at all the tiers and the descriptions and stuff and see if it aligns with you. And yeah, I will be back not next Sunday, but the Sunday after for another episode of Earthling Elaborates. And I really appreciate you all for being here, and I hope you're being gentle and taking care of yourselves. And I will see you soon. Bye.